On September 1st, Sony is going to delete 551 movies out of people's accounts. Movies they already paid for. We're talking Terminator 2, Total Recall, Apocalypse Now, bought and paid for, sitting in a library that literally says purchased. And next month, they simply vanish, without a refund. And the reason? A licensing deal between Sony and a movie studio ran out. And it's not a mistake or a glitch. The system is working exactly the way it was designed to. So let's talk about what you're actually getting when you click that little buy button. Because the answer is kind of insane. To see how we got here, you've got to go back about 20 years to a promise. And the promise was great. No more physical stuff, no more shelves of DVDs, no more scratched discs, no more clutter, no more lost movies. Everything, from your movies to your games to music and books, moves to the cloud. And the best part? You buy it once and it's yours forever, on every device you own. Sounds amazing, right? So we all went all in. We stopped buying discs and bit by bit, actually owning your media basically disappeared. But there was a catch. You weren't really buying anything at all. Let's first look at what we actually gave up, because it's probably more than you think. In 2010, Blockbuster, the place everyone rented movies on a Friday night, went bankrupt, and in 2023, Netflix mailed out its very last DVD, ending the mailing service that made it famous. 25 years in, VHS, DVDs, the rental store, the used game bin, one by one, everywhere you could actually own a movie or game outright just disappeared. And honestly, we were fine with it, because streaming was just better. And for a few years, it really was. And then it started to change. That one magic subscription that let you watch everything split into, 8 different subscriptions? Half of them now showing you ads, unless you pay even more to turn them off. What started off as just Netflix quickly turned into Netflix, HBO Max, Apple TV, Disney+. The thing that we traded physical media for slowly got worse than the thing that it replaced. But by then it was too late. The discs were gone and there was simply nothing to go back to. Okay, let's talk about the buy button. I know it says buy, but go and read the actual terms and conditions that you're agreeing to. And there it is, the crucial sentence hidden in plain sight. The content is licensed, not sold to you. So why does that one word, license instead of sale, change everything? When you buy something physical, there's a law called the first sale doctrine, and it automatically gives you rights. You can lend that thing to a friend, you can sell it when you're done, you can give it away for free, you can leave it to your kids. But a licensing deal gives you none of that. You can't lend it, you can't resell it, you can't pass it down. And like PlayStation users just had to find out the hard way, it can be taken away anytime they want. And again, that's not an accident. That's the whole point of licensing it instead of selling it to you. About 10 years ago, a company called Redigi launched a website where you could resell your digital files. Basically a used bookshop, but digital. They got sued into oblivion. The court ruled that moving the file to someone else's account counts as making a copy, and you're not allowed to copy something that you've only licensed. So a secondhand store for digital licenses is pretty much illegal by design. Of course, they still use the word buy deceptively so that you feel like you own it, but the underlying contract makes sure that you never do. Now, for a long time, this wasn't too bad because there was always a backup, just buy the physical disc. But now that's disappearing too. Sony said that starting in 2028, new PlayStation games won't come on a disc anymore. And the PlayStation 6 is widely rumored to not have any disk drive at all, which means something that people have done for almost 30 years, lending games to a friend, is basically about to end. And of course, it's part of a wider trend. You buy a phone, a car, even a fridge, and half the features turn out to be a subscription. Slowly, owning things is turning into renting things, and anything that you rent can be taken away at a moment's notice. That famous line, "You'll own nothing and you'll be happy," it was meant as a prediction, not a plan. But you don't need a conspiracy to see where this is going. A renter or subscriber can be built forever, and they can never resell what an owner could. So it's just pure capitalistic greed. Anyway, let's go back to those 551 movies. Nobody hacked in and stole them. What actually happened is simpler and much worse. They were never really yours in the first place. You were just told they were, by the one word on the screen that's a lie. Buy. Go to any store and the button still says buy, and it probably always will, because if it was honest and said rent, you'd probably think twice about it and hold on to your physical media. And you would hesitate before handing these companies everything that you own. So, on September 1st, those movies disappear, and the message Sony sent to the people who bought them? It signs off with the company's official slogan, "Play has no limits." But apparently, it does.